The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Good morning. Investigations continue into the death of a Bahamian student in Panama. Darren Pickstock says he wasn't casting blame about the representation in Golden Isles, saying that the area deserves to be served well at the local level. And today we're talking about the silver economy, what that is all about and how you could potentially benefit. That's all straight ahead this morning. I'm Dwight Strachan, and this is Morning Blend.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. It's the start of a new way. Know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning again, Bahamas. It is Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Again, I'm Dwight Strachan. In a moment, Duquesa Dean will be joining us. Also this morning, we'll get a preview of the Bahamian and Haitian Creole Festival at UB this week. And a whole lot more. But first, it's time for the Overnight, the latest breaking news from while we're sleeping, and the top national and international headlines this morning. In the overnight, the U.S. government donating $30,000 worth of disaster relief supplies, including medical products and household essentials, to the Bahamas Red Cross Society following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, which impacted islands in the central and southern Bahamas. President of the Bahamas Red Cross, Edison Sumner, expressing gratitude for the generous donation, stating that though the Bahamas did not sustain heavy damage from the storm, the donation signifies a long-standing partnership between the countries. And the Public Hospitals Authority says that the government has signed a $75 million CIBC-led syndicated loan agreement to modernize key health facilities in the country. This includes upgrades at Princess Margaret Hospital and the completion of the Freeport Health Campus. It says that the investment is about delivering modern, equitable, world-class health care for Bahamians. According to Minister of Health, Dr. Michael Darville, they're completing major projects in Grand Bahama and modernizing Princess Margaret Hospital so patients can receive better. The PLP's candidate for the Golden Isles by-election says that his claim that the constituency has been neglected was not intended to cast blame on the government. After he nominated on Friday, Pickstock said, quote, "People are not asking for the world. They're just asking for someone who listens, who shows up, and who gets things done." But in a new statement yesterday, he said, quote, "For the record, I'm grateful for the opportunity to reiterate this assertion and emphasize that my point is one about responsibility rather than blame. Public service means offering solutions to problems, not pretending that issues and challenges do not exist." Pickstock, a former senator, told party supporters after he nominated that residents have been ignored and that he was offering real progress. A police officer was justified in fatally shooting a mentally ill man who charged at him while wielding a cutlass. That's according to a coroner's jury in a decision yesterday. Assistant Superintendent of Police Darrington Sands gunned down 43-year-old Jermaine Minnis on November 15, 2018 in the line of duty. Sands is one of two about a man who was threatening passers-by with a cutlass by a fruit stand near the Fox Hill police station. According to testimony, Minnis ignored commands to drop his weapon and instead charged at the officers while swinging the cutlass, putting them in fear for their lives. That's when Sands shot the assailant and killed him. An inquest, not a trial, does not determine civil or criminal liability. And a Barry Islands resident remanded to prison on accusations that he raped a 10-year-old girl multiple times this year. 29-year-old Peverick Smith made his first court appearance before Magistrate Abigail Farrington on charges of unlawful sexual intercourse and indecent assault. The offenses allegedly took place on the Barry Islands on October 27th, and during June and September, Smith was not required to enter pleas to the charges, and since he'll be tried in the Supreme Court. Prosecutors intend to fast-track the case to the Supreme Court for trial with the presentation of a voluntary bill of indictment in February. Following the tragic death of 16-year-old Madeline Thompson, the St. Augustine student who died last week in Panama while attending a robotics competition, Prime Minister Philip Davis offering condolences to her family, describing the bright young girl as kind-hearted and community-oriented. Davis saying in a social media post on Monday, quote, "Anna and I are heartbroken by the tragic passing of Madeline Thompson, a bright and beloved student of St. Augustine's College, whose life ended far too soon while representing her school and country in Panama. We extend our deepest condolences to her parents, Jerome and Shanique Thompson, her family, friends, classmates, teachers, and the entire St. Augustine's College community." And the general manager of the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute, BAMSI, Dion Gibson, says there are new cases of cane toads in western New Providence, as well as some in eastern New Providence. Cane toads are invasive, large, poisonous, warty amphibians that are harmful and are native to Central and South America. Gibson speaking yesterday saying, quote, "We are seeing a real explosion at a certain point in the far western New Providence where there was a lot of development and a lot of exotic plants were brought in. They've now been seen in New Providence as far as Sea Breeze." He says there's some developments in eastern New Providence that are seeing toads as well. Overseas, breaking news, Dick Cheney, the hard-charging conservative who became one of the most powerful and polarizing vice presidents in U.S. history and a leading advocate for the invasion of Iraq, has died at the age of 84. Cheney died Monday night due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease, according to a statement from his family. The quietly forceful Cheney served father and son presidents leading the armed forces as chief during the Persian Gulf War under President George, before returning to public life as vice president under Bush's son, George W. Bush. Again, Dick Cheney, dead at 84. And Jamaica's peak tourism season is 1 month away, and officials in the hurricane-ravaged nation are rushing to rebuild from the catastrophic Category 5 that shredded the island's western region. Before Hurricane Melissa hit on October 28th, the government expected Jamaica's tourism industry to grow by 7% this winter season and was preparing to welcome more than 4.3 million visitors. Now officials are scrambling to repair hotels and clear debris in the western half of the island in hopes of securing tourist dollars at a moment when they're desperately needed. All international airports in Jamaica have reopened and are receiving commercial flights, but almost a week after one of the most powerful Atlantic hurricanes on record, Tourism officials were still trying to get a true picture of the damage to the sector, a mainstay of the island's economy. In recent days, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett said he expected Jamaica's tourism sector to be back to normal by December 15th, the start of the island's peak tourism season. Jared, who operates a family-owned Altamont Court Hotel that has properties in Kingston and Montego Bay, said only one property in Montego Bay sustained roof damage and that repairs were underway. And just days ahead of the UN climate conference to be held in Brazil, a group of 300 mayors gathering in Rio de Janeiro coordinated climate action and address rising heat that is hurting many of their residents. The summit was organized by C40, a network of mayors from big cities that is pushed to be included in decisions on how to combat global warming and adapt to its effects. The UN Special Advisor and Assistant Secretary General for Climate Change, Selwyn Hart, said at the opening that mayors are on the front lines of the climate crisis, saying, quote, "In the midst of all the geopolitical tensions and divisions, it is truly amazing and inspirational to see what is happening in this room and on the ground in our cities," saying that local leaders were more than ever needed as the world enters the second decade of implementing the 2015 Paris Agreement. That Paris Agreement aims to keep temperatures from rising beyond 2 degrees Celsius or 3.6 degrees Fahrenheit and ideally limit it to 1.5 degrees Celsius or 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit compared to the 1850s. To do that, the agreement says nations must slash planet-warming pollution that results when coal, oil, and gas are burned. But the U.S. decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement and set back its climate goals seemed to loom large at the Mayor's Summit. London Mayor Sadiq Khan said mayors have, quote, long been climate doers, while too many nations and states have been the climate delayers, or indeed climate deniers. Khan added that the challenge has moved beyond a battle against climate denial. In sports, Bahamian racing star Lennox Lockhart has earned another podium finish. Lockhart notched a third-place finish at the micro final in the 2025 ROC Cup USA event in Las Vegas over the weekend. He crossed the finish line third in a final time of 11:36.881 with an average speed of 58.12 miles per hour over the course of 15 laps. From NFL Monday Night Football action, Jacoby Brissett had a stock answer ready for the question of whether the Arizona quarterback has done enough to be the replacement, not just to fill in for Kyler Murray. Coach Jonathan Gannon barely had an answer at all. The Cardinals will worry about what happens or what appears to be a full-blown controversy later. For now, they're enjoying the end of a five-game losing streak. Brissett threw for a score in another game with Murray sidelined by a foot injury as the Cardinals beat the Dallas Cowboys 27-17 Monday night in Texas. Brissett making his third consecutive start after the week began with expectations of Murray returning coming off the team's open week. Instead, the Cardinals pivoted to Brissett, with Gannon saying that Murray wasn't quite ready. Arizona now 3-5 for the season, winning for just the second time in the past 18 games when Murray didn't take at least 5 snaps or sat out entirely. The Cowboys now at 3-5-1. That's sports, and that's the overnight. Time for your first look at weather. Your first look at weather brought to you by Star General. We've got a strong high-pressure system centered over the southeastern United States. That's extending a surface ridge across the area, and that's going to bring breezy conditions. Expect mainly dry weather across the northern and northwest Bahamas today, although upper-level moisture will support a few cloudy periods. Meanwhile, a weak cold front near the central Bahamas is expected to bring a few isolated showers to that part of the country and portions of the southeastern islands through this evening. For today, beachgoers and swimmers across the area should not enter Atlantic waters as there is a moderate to high risk of rip currents. And due to the full moon, residents should be alert for flooding along banks, marshes, and coastal areas during high tide. Your forecast for today for the northern half of the country, variably cloudy, becoming mostly fair tonight. Only about a 10 to 20% chance of light passing showers or spotty showers. Winds northeasterly at 15 to 20 knots with higher gusts for the northwest Bahamas, including New Providence. Today, of sun and clouds becoming partly cloudy at night with a 20 to 30% chance of isolated showers, slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Winds northeasterly at 15 knots. For the southeast Bahamas, partly to mostly sunny today, becoming mostly fair tonight with a 10 to 20% chance of spotty showers. Winds northeast to east at 10 to 15 knots with higher gusts. Temperature-wise, today we're looking at highs in the mid-80s for most areas, around 85, 86 Fahrenheit, 29, 30 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to the mid-70s for most areas, the upper 60s for the extreme northern islands. That's your first look at weather this morning. We'll have your extended outlook coming up in just a bit. This weather check brought to you by Star General, insurance made simple.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up.
You're listening to Morning. We're discussing the day's top stories right here on your home for fresh news and smart talk all day. Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Southwest Plaza has so many stores, I've been trying to find a sensible way to list them all. There's CBS Bahamas, the Ashai Institute, BENC Snack World, Bamboo Shack Bahamas, there the Athlete's Foot and BTC, Games and More, John Bull, Pine Threads, Alive, Bahari, Dairy Queen, 700 Wines and Spirits, Sandy's, Clarkson, Island Luck, Starbucks and Lowe's Pharmacy, plus Marco's Pizza and Lorraine. Southwest Plaza, what a wide array of stores. Southwest Plaza, stop by today and explore.
Ladies, get ready. The premier women's empowerment event of the year is here. Inspire Her 2025. Join us November 20th at the Bahamar Convention Center for a transformational experience featuring Emmy Award-winning Tabitha Brown and first female CEO. Gain powerful insights, build meaningful connections, and walk away with strategies to elevate your career and life. Tickets available now. Get yours on the Alive Events app before it's too late. Don't miss Inspire Her.
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. There's Santa for the kids and CIBC Caribbean for you. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Looking to elevate your gadget game or a tech trouble simply slowing you down? Escape to a world of innovation at Custom Computers, your go-to store for the latest cutting-edge tech. Whether you need to upgrade your life with the best from Apple and Windows or your device needs a little TLC, the Custom Computers Know-How Store is the destination for unbeatable expertise and quality repairs. With 2 convenient locations, there's a Custom Computers near you, Palmdale and Cades Village, or call 396-1100.
For fast, reliable, and impactful printing services, look no further. Let Printmasters bring your masterpiece to life. We stand by our quality products that is second to none. Our affordable pricing and friendly, efficient staff makes Printmasters the ultimate choice for all your printing needs. We can deliver any type of printing services, from banners to booklets to business cards. You name it, we can print it.
Let print Print Masters, bring your masterpiece to life.
Located in the Nassau Guardian Building, telephone 302-2361.
Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Street, has those hard-to-find fasteners for you right now. You can find stainless steel regular hex, carriage bolts, galvanized bolts, threaded rods, nails, self-tap screws, sex bolts, anchor bolts, turnbuckles, masonry tools, hand tools, and weed whacker strings. Check out the rope selection and car body fasteners, too. Special orders are welcome. It's your #1 fastener store. Screws and Fasteners World, Balfour Avenue and Palm Beach Streets. Call 326-1976.
Some people, others work for you every day, whether through free classes for students or programs for the elderly. We've been building Golden Isles for years, while others waited for their time to shine. I'm Brian Brown, and I know it is something you earned. On November 24th, vote F&M, because this time around, we're going with Brian Brown.
Paid for by the Free National Movement.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
At Cleveland Clinic, you set your course, not cancer. So when your journey takes an unexpected turn, you seek out the conquered it before, and you forge new paths to help fight cancers. For every route to a cure, for every care in the world. See how we're innovating cancer care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Mom, the Christmas cookies are ready. Leave them right here under the tree for...
For Santa or for CIBC Caribbean?
'Tis the season for dreams to come true. Whether it's a house, land, vehicle, or upgrading your home, CIBC Caribbean can support your dreams with the financing you need. Enjoy incredible cashback deals with mortgages and land loans. Plus, your approved loan gives you a chance to win up to US $5,000. Apply now at www.cibccaribbean.com/sweeten the season. Terms and conditions apply.
Hard work and opportunity are the keys to success. I started as a packing boy, a bus boy, and a space cleaner. Now, I'm a businessman and a lawyer. As chairman of BAIC, I focus on creating new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs and farmers. I'm Darren Pickstock, candidate for the PLP in Golden Isles. It would be an honor to work hard for Golden Isles and help with concerns big and small. Let's work together to create new pathways to security and success for more Bahamians.
This has been a paid announcement by the Progressive Liberal Party.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way? Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
We are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We are streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook, facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. We're also on Instagram and even Threads. Whatever that is, right? Except for TikTok. But soon, maybe. Once again, Dwight Strachan joining me now. DeQuesta Dean. DeQuesta, good morning. Great to have you with us.
Good morning, Bahamas.
Welcome to November.
Yes, it's Merry Christmas.
Oh, my gosh. Right?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Straight into the Christmas season.
Pretty much. Wow. Well, we have a lot to talk about. Today, we're going to tell you about this is tomorrow at UB, University of the Bahamas and Haitian Creole Festival. We'll get some details about that. And then later in business, you've heard of the orange economy, blue economy, but have you heard of the silver economy?
No, I'm ready to learn about it. Yeah.
We're going to find out more about that in business this morning, so stay tuned for that. But right now, let's get into what else is in the news. And in the news, everyone's just trying to figure out what happened. What happened to 16-year-old Madeline Thompson in Panama, the Bahamian student taking part in a robotics competition, dying in Panama City on this school trip. And so many questions and very few answers right now. But the Ministry of Foreign Affairs looking into it. Director General Jerusa Ali was asked about this yesterday. Take a listen to what she's saying about what Bahamian officials are trying to do to piece this all together to understand what's going on here.
It's really a tragedy. We are in contact with the organizers of the event. It was a robotics event for children. We're also in contact with our honorary council in Panama, who's spoken with Panamanian officials and who's spoken with the family of Ms. Thompson. We don't tend to be public with these matters because we respect the rights of the family members. We have a consular team that's based here in Nassau. We have a network of honorary councils, including one in Panama, who we rely on for consular assistance when we have a death of a Bahamian national or somebody who's hospitalized. We go through official channels, so we go government to government, and we have strong ties with Panama. So in this case, it's easier. Sometimes it's more difficult when we don't have representation, but we do our best to stay focused on the families, stay in touch with the families, and submit queries through official channels so that there's no delay. Because it's almost like re-traumatizing. Right now, our consular focus is not only on Panama, but also on Haiti, in Jamaica, and how we're impacted by the hurricane. And there are some other consular emergencies happening right now.
Okay, the Director General of Foreign Affairs, Jerusa Ali there. So just hearing more about this, the Tribune has been following this, and so this is their latest story today. Police in Panama say they have not yet determined whether foul play was involved in the death of 16-year-old Bahamian student Madeline Thompson, who fell to her death from the 27th floor of a city center hotel on Friday. Authorities say the investigation remains active as detectives continue to gather evidence, review hotel surveillance footage, and interview witnesses. A police spokesperson confirming that officers are still working to establish the circumstances of the tragedy. Saying, quote, "At this stage, we do not know whether she fell." Oh, I don't even want to read the rest of this. Okay. Anyway, they're investigating. Police received a call around 6:05 a.m. reporting that a body had been found at the Megapolis Hotel, a 66-story luxury property overlooking Panama's oceanfront. Panamanian media reported that Thompson fell from the 27th floor to the 12th, landing in the hotel's social area near the pool. She was reportedly sharing a room with two classmates while attending the first Global Robotics Challenge, an international competition for secondary school students. Now, yesterday, Prime Minister Philip Davis and his wife, Anne, who expressed condolences, describing Thompson as a bright and compassionate young woman who embodied faith and service. The Prime Minister saying her kindness and volunteerism reflected, quote, the best of our Bahamian youth, and that her passing was a loss felt deeply. Yeah. Wow, Thompson recently celebrated her 16th birthday. Just in September 26th.
Wow.
And was a dedicated volunteer at St. Joseph's Parish Soup Kitchen and a cherished member of the church, according to its pastor. And we told you about this yesterday in a statement. Sandy Gustins College said the tragic death was a devastating loss for the school family, and that it said that the institution said its delegation to Panama included a parent, a chaperone, the principal, and members of the faculty, and that it remains in contact with Panamanian authorities.
Wow. It's a heartbreaking situation. Yeah. We send condolences to family, school, loved ones, church family.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
A really difficult situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Got a few comments here. I'm not sure I want to take calls on this because, I mean, we don't need speculation.
Right.
And unfortunately, on social media, under any stories like this, the comments I've seen on this story.
Insensitive at best.
My goodness. Just ridiculous. Every thought that comes to your head, you do not need to under a post and press send. For the love of God, think twice, think 3 times, think 4 times if this is adding value to anything other than showing that you are a complete idiot. Right? You're exposing how stupid you are to the entire world. And it's really, for what? If you want to say something dumb, call up a friend and say it. But you don't need to do this kind of stuff.
And just consider if it was you or your family, how just put yourself in other people's shoes.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I don't know which category to put this text in. I'm not sure. This is another thing. Think twice or do some research before you press send. This person texting us. Good morning. Panama City is in Florida. Panama is a Central American country. Stop interchanging both places. Look, do not today. Not today. For the love of God. If you failed geography and if you don't know, you keep it to yourself. Why would you send us a stupid text? Who's interchanging it? Who's mixing it up? Only you. Because there can be multiple Panama cities. But we're talking, texter. But because I read it to myself, I said, all of you need to see what we're working with in the Bahamas.
I can only shake my head. I don't know. Maybe each person thinks.
You know how many places are called Nassau? Idiot. Do you know? Huh? Okay. What did... I don't understand it.
Listen, Dwight, get it right.
I don't know. Who did that? Anyway, a caller. Let's go to the calls. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
Good morning, sir and madam, lady.
Good morning. Good morning.
It's sudden, very sudden to hear of the tragic death of a young lady, a student with a lot of prospects, academic and athletic, and very, very sad. Just this weekend, I went to 2 funerals of students from the same class that they actually, not themselves, but their parents, one father, one mother. And that was painful, little child. And those buildings are so tall, so high. Now, on Panama City, I have a reservation for Port of Spain, and some persons thought I was going to Spain. Port of Spain is the capital of Trinidad and Tobago.
Oh, my gosh.
So, there's a lot we do.
Yeah.
So, but,
well, maybe geography needs to be mandatory straight through all of school.
But very much serious condolences to the SAC and to the whole Bahamas. So even another teacher told his students that they need to read the news and pay attention to the news because some students are not even paying attention to the news.
Yeah. Very, very sad.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the
You're
call. Okay. Let's take another call. Good morning, caller. You're live on the air. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, listen, this situation with the incident of the child, well, my kids, they normally go international track clubs, but the chaparral is very important, and they normally would check on the kids to make sure they prepare for competition the next day, and as far as bedtime, rest. So I don't know what went wrong there, but as far as I'm concerned, we would Wolfpack and We have very disciplined chaperones and coaches, so they have to investigate what went wrong there. But that's not supposed to happen.
What?
Chaperones are supposed to make sure that your child is safe.
I mean, she was in the room.
That's not make it potentially more sinister than what it could have simply been.
Yeah, but the chaperone is very, very important. Okay?
She was in the room, so
That's what I'm saying. And there's a chaperone, there's a female chaperone. They're there.
chaperone, but okay.
But weren't her
okay.
parents there?
I'm not
Parents
sure,
were.
but a parent was there.
A parent was
That's
there.
not the. She wasn't.
She was in a room.
Everybody, just think before you speak.
Have a
She was
kumbaya
in
moment.
her room.
Yeah, she was in the room.
her room.
Yeah.
On the balcony. Okay. That is not a crime.
Right.
That is not a violation.
Right.
Okay. This texture says, I'm confused about how the Prime Minister decides who to issue condolences to. Oh, boy.
Oh, gee.
My goodness gracious. The last two statements were for young Madeline and the pregnant mother, but many others have passed away since then. So what makes someone worthy of his condolences?
Were they all like tragic and under circumstances like that? I do a little research. Wow. Wow. I know. I know.
Can I leave you to do the show today? I'll come back tomorrow.
You need a kumbaya moment?
Just a
you could take
little-
5
little
minutes.
break.
We could take 5 minutes.
It's me. I shouldn't have read it. I should not have read the text. But I won't be reading any text if I.
But
if
then
I
that's
go
what I'm
by-
saying.
by
You
what's
won't.
happening
You
today.
won't know. You won't know unless you read it.
Some of your news. This is the same person who said Panama City, Panama. Some of your news says Panamanian officials because they are Panamanian officials. This happened in Panama, the country. Texter. This happened in Panama. The conference was in Panama, the country Panama, in Panama City, Panama. Hence, Panamanian officials are speaking.
Sometimes, Dwight, a little education isn't bad. Thank you for, making that very, very clear for the listening audience that this was Panama and Panama, not like, maybe there was a
Did we hear
misunderstanding.
something else?
We didn't. However, obviously.
I'm sorry, Texter. We thought you knew it was Panama, the country. Panama City, in the country of Panama.
Yes.
I don't know where you got something else, but okay. Okay. Hopefully we're all on the same map now.
Yes, just talk about geography lacking. So, yeah. Producer okay with that?
Oh my gosh. See, now I don't want to read this text, but you have to wonder. I don't know. People get mixed up, but then see, this is the thing: the people who get mixed up are the ones who are the most vocal, and are commenting the most, right? They mishear something, misunderstand something, and they are the ones with the longest posts.
But I mean, would you go
You
say
would.
right? But
I
I
would.
mean, go and just check before you. You just actually said before you type or before you comment on the post or whatever. So wouldn't you check first?
First thought in your head. Let me get this. Let me type this before I lose my thought. Press send. Bam. Okay. It seems. Dwight, you're dealing with and this is not accurate, but anyway, they're talking about the D average thing, which is not an accurate thing to say. But anyway, you're dealing with that, and it's not getting any better. You can't get these people to recognize that they are. Oh boy. Anyway, it's getting worse, they're saying. Okay, that's very sad. This texture says, as a parent who has a child that went on numerous robotics trips and another child wanting to join the robotics club, we really need to know what happened. It really hurts for her parents. Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, kids go on school trips all the time. without major tragedies. So we really need to know what happened. You know, we do.
This person says here, behaviors are very strange. I remember I used to comment on social media. Then during the pandemic, someone made such an asinine comment that I said, you know what? I will never comment again. It's working out well for me because some people are insane.
That's why we need you to comment. We need the sane people to put. And the sad thing is, the sane people that write the common sense posts are the ones that are attacked for their common sense posts. So like that texter during the pandemic, at any news conference, anything, I literally had to swipe to the right to move the comments because it was disheartening to see the stupidity that people were posting educational or updates. And I'm like, oh, do you...
But I have an addiction. I am addicted to going to the comments. And it's like, okay, this post is so sensible, but I guarantee you there's going to be this one comment there. And I go looking for the comment. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But I have to go and say, there it is. I knew this was coming. So that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, though. I guess you just have to prove that.
Prove that
we
people
can't
are
have sensible dialogue.
Like, I'm disappointed when I don't see the comment that I thought someone was going to
post.
post.
Do you really get disappointed, or do you say,
glad.
this is it? Or you don't even get a chance to be disappointed because more
I mean,
often than not, a stupid post is there.
It's always there.
Right, so you don't even get a chance.
Yeah, you're never disappointed. But I'm like, oh, no one's commented yet. I'll come back when they comment. But it's always there. But sometimes you're surprised. I'm like, whoa, this is even deeper than I thought it could ever be.
I'm telling you, we have an unfiltered generation.
Yeah. And it's not just us.
No,
the Americans are just as crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. I'm telling you, it's like insanity. Mm-hmm. Like people have lost their minds.
Yeah. And so proud.
Yeah.
So proud. Like, people are losing their jobs for doing stuff like this in other parts of the world.
Yes.
But here, you can do it. You can say anything, and nobody's ever going to come back, it seems, and say, well, no, we don't want you associated with our company. We don't want you around our children. We don't want you, right? We're not there. You can just go and post any old nonsense, and people are like, oh, well, that's just him.
Right.
Wow. Okay. All right. Just a few more comments on this, and then we're going to move on. Okay. This person says, don't be biased. We all have free speech. Please read people's texts. Well, I don't, some of them I can't. They're really hurtful. They're very insensitive and
you have to be responsible for the listening audience as well. We don't know who of our family is listening or, so can't.
No, we can't do that. Can't do that. Cannot read all. And then you're not going to get me to say some of these things. If you want to be a complete... I don't know what word to use here. But if you want to be one of those people, call in. Let everyone hear you. In fact, say your name. You know my name. So say your name and then spew your hate. Let's hear you and say, wow, that's you. But you're not going to get me to read your hateful text messages.
There you go.
And I'll read what I can. I'll try to edit. Some of them are terrible. I really can't take it out. There's no reason to bring up some of these things right now. Investigations are underway. That's not cool. Not cool. And it hurts to know that we share this tiny island with some of these barbarians. Yeah, this is you can't escape. 21/7. You're stuck with what?
Good Lord.
Anyway, let's move on. All right, so we told you about this yesterday, and so there's a response to this. So we talked about this. This is politics now. The PLP candidate for Golden Isles saying that people deserve better, and he's here for better. And some were, it was one of your people who was the sitting MP, and if they weren't getting better then. What does that mean? So, Pickstock says that his comments are taken out of context, basically. So, our Rachel Scott writing about this, the PLP's candidate for Golden Isles by-election, saying Monday that his claim that the constituency has been neglected was not intended to cast blame on the government. After he nominated on Friday, Pickstock said, quote, "We are not asking for the world. They're just asking, or not asking for the world. People are just asking for someone who listens, who shows up, and who gets things done." In a new statement yesterday, he said, quote, "For the record, I'm grateful for the opportunity to reiterate this assertion and to emphasize that my point is one about responsibility rather than blame. Public service means offering solutions to problems, not pretending that issues and challenges do not exist." Now, on Friday, who resigned from the Senate last week, told party supporters that after he nominated, that residents have been ignored and that he was offering real progress, saying, quote, "I am tired of people being ignored. That is why I'm running. I'm tired of people calling for help and getting excuses. I'm tired of seeing our community wait years for the simple things like a fixed streetlight, a paved road, a safe park for kids to play in." So the Nassau Guardian, in an editorial on Monday, noted that Pickstock's comments suggest criticism of the current PLP government, led by Prime Minister Philip Davis, which has been in power for many years, for 4 years now, right? Since September 2021. Former Golden Isles MP Vaughn Miller died on September 28th, necessitating the by-election. He was the constituency's representative from 2017, back when he was an FNM MP. He ran and won as a PLP in 2021. So Pickstock's statement was a response to the editorial, which noted that he attempted to cast himself as a doer and his opponent, Brian Brown of the FNM, as lacking any real record on the constituency. And the editorial said, quote, "But what Pickstock has in fact been doing is highlighting his own party's neglect of Golden Isles and placing a cloud over the record of his now deceased colleague, Vaughn Miller." Well, Pickstock said that while the Davis administration is a good government, the constituency has not been served well at the local level.
What?
He said, quote, "The people of Golden Isles deserve a government that has a national strategy to create a more inclusive, dynamic economy, and they have one in the Davis administration, which has made unprecedented investments in people, energy, reform, and infrastructure across our islands, despite having inherited a severe fiscal crisis. The people of Golden Isles also deserve to be served well at the local level, with improvements to infrastructure, stronger community programs, and more opportunities to learn and upskill. If I have the honor to represent the people of Golden Isles, they will find in me someone who works hard at levels to change their lives and our beautiful country." While Pickstock claimed that he has not been casting blame, he's been critical of Brown's presence in the constituency, suggesting that Brown has been unable to point to a single thing he has done transformational in Golden Isles in the years he's been on the ground. Boy, okay. The by-election is slated for November 24th. In addition to Pickstock and Brown, there's Brian Roll, representing the Coalition of Independents, and Karen Butler as an independent. Okay, interesting comments from Darren Pickstock. Let's get your reaction to that, folks. What he's saying there. 323-6232. 325-4316. 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Somebody who is not elected, pointing to what he says is no record of doing anything. Someone who's never been elected.
In the constituency, yes. Yeah, just a regular citizen.
He's done nothing. Okay. What should he have done?
It's just the regular crap that we always get for elections. Mudslinging and, talking bad about the other candidate versus just showing your record, right? And demonstrating why you should be the person. And I don't get how he doesn't see saying what this constituency deserves is literally saying what your government isn't doing, because your government is the sitting government. And even though governments before also had a responsibility, what you're saying is in the last 3 years, people have been neglected. So there's no way to separate from the fact that you're saying nothing has been done. And, yes, you're vocal about it, but how much will you really be able to do? when you go in. And this is the conversation that we've been having, Dwight, that a lot of the people that represent constituencies don't literally have the power to make necessary in their constituencies. And the stipend that they're given to do events in their constituencies it's just not enough to do what is needed to make them little cities. Right? So, I mean, it's just the same recycling of...
Yeah. And again, that's what he's saying is a little different from what people who live in the area say that they have been seeing Brown for a number of years now. But okay, let's go to the phone lines. Caller, what say you on this? Good morning.
Dwight.
Hi, good morning.
All right, yeah, very disappointed in Pistock's statement. I'm a very good friend of Juan Miller. And I think, you don't swipe at somebody who has moved on. If Juan was living today, he may have said, listen, I did my best, and I tried, but I was restrained or I was handcuffed. But you don't attack someone who's already going on, who cannot even defend himself in the grave. And I think that's very poor, Mr. Pistock. If I had to vote for him, I would not vote for principles. You don't attack someone who died, and they can't defend themselves. I'm very upset about it.
And you see it as an attack? It feels like an attack to you?
Yeah, I mean, how could you say something about me and I can't defend myself? I'm dead now, and you can come to say, well, maybe I didn't do this or I didn't live up to my performance. You cannot do that.
Okay.
Because now he can't defend himself. How could he defend himself when he's already going on? How you know he was restrained? He may have tried. You have a cabinet, and they say, look here, not now. In much you could do as an MP. But the point is you don't attack, and I look at it personally as attacking somebody who can't defend himself. And Pistock is wrong, and for me personally, he has disqualified himself.
Is there a constituency where the things that he mentioned, where those things are happening?
Yeah, but basically, he's basically saying, okay, the former minister failed to accomplish the things in Tall Pines, But if one was living today, he might be able to tell you why he couldn't get things done. Because sometimes you fighting like hell to get things done, and you may be in cabinet or not. They say, well, that's not a priority now. Okay. So what do you do then? But don't attack the man. That's what I'm saying. Don't attack him. Just say, hey, I'm coming in, and I'm going to further improve, blah, blah, blah. But you don't go do that, man.
Okay. All right.
I have a problem with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, if it's the way you're saying it, caller, then that call has done more damage than anything else. Clearly, we don't need to vote for anybody ever. Ever. Just find some rich people in the neighborhood. Can you do things for us, please? Can you? Because what's the point? What are these clowns doing? Based on what you just said. Yeah. Wow. Caller, good morning. You're on the air. Are you there? No, let's take this one. Caller, good morning. You're on the air live.
Good morning, Cousin Dwight, and good morning, Nana.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
How you all doing?
You're doing well.
Wonderful. See, Dwight, let me tell you something. No, I see it differently. It's that the both political parties, successful parties, where they so out of touch with people, those who they're supposed to represent. He was scripted to say what he said as if he forgot. Both of them forgot, whoever did the script on him, that they was fighting against their own party. That is the script that all of them are given. Oh, you do this, you do that, forgetting that, oh, Jesus appeared, be just at their seat. That's how much they care about the Bahamian people.
Or maybe they just pull up
the angle. That's where I see it from.
The general statement out of the file cabinet.
Right.
What you say when you're running.
Right. Yeah, that's all it is. This is what we do when you're running.
Name here.
This is
exactly. And they forgot 1 minute just at that seat.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking that, boy.
Thanks a lot. Well, well, we had a caller yesterday who said that he wasn't meaning specifically Golden Isles, that it was just in general.
Like that makes it worse.
Right.
If
that's how all the Bahamian people feel.
Yeah,
right. So we've got some issues. We've been done bad by everybody. Everyone we've put in previously. So much work to be done. But we're telling you, this system. The challenge is here. The challenge is here. We need our MPs to work for us on a national level, but they seem to be having a major problem when it comes to on the ground local issues. Why is that?
The government isn't set up.
It's not.
For that.
It is not.
That is what the problem is.
That is what the problem is. And this is what we need to be asking these candidates. Do you recognize that there needs to be a separation, that there needs to be true local government to handle some of the things you're talking about so you can be an MP, or you decide which one you want to be, a local government official or an MP? We got to go to the news. We'll pick this up on the other side. A whole lot more to talk about on this Tuesday morning. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Welcome back to Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. We're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com and on the Guardian Radio app for smart devices. We're also on your televisions on Cable Bahamas Channel 969 and BTC Flow Channel 612. You can tweet us at Morning Blend 969 or Facebook.com/Morning Blend 969. Text us 422-4796. And now day 24, time for another check of your weather for today, brought to you by Sherwin. We've got a strong high-pressure system centered over the southeastern United States. That's extending a surface ridge across the region, and that's going to bring breezy conditions, but dry conditions across the northern and northwest Bahamas today, although upper-level moisture will support a few cloudy spells in the area. Meanwhile, a weak cold front near the central Bahamas expected to bring a few isolated showers to that part of the country and some of the southeastern islands through this evening. High pressure is going to gradually lift eastwards and weaken through the week. However, the dry air mass is expected to remain in place for the northern half of the country, maintaining mostly stable conditions for the next few days. A weak frontal boundary will keep shower chances elevated for the central and southeastern islands as it meanders across that area. By Friday, shower activity is expected to increase across all parts of the country as troughing and tropical moisture moves in. For today, beachgoers and swimmers across all areas should not enter Atlantic waters as there's a moderate to high risk of rip currents. And due to the full moon, everyone should be on alert for flooding along coastal marshes and banks during high tide. For today, for the northern and northwest Bahamas, variably cloudy conditions today, mostly fair at night, only about a 10 to 20% chance of spotty showers. For the central Bahamas, mix of sun and clouds today, becoming partly cloudy tonight, a 20 to 30% chance of showers with slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. And for the southeastern islands, partly to mostly sunny, becoming mostly fair tonight, only about a 10 to 20% chance of showers. Relatively comfortable temperatures today, especially for the extreme northern islands, highs in the mid-80s, around 84 Fahrenheit, 29 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 74, 75 Fahrenheit, 23 Celsius for most of the northwest Bahamas. The extreme northern islands could see lows in the upper 60s, around 20 Celsius. For the central and southeast Bahamas, highs around 87 Fahrenheit, 30, 31 Celsius. Overnight lows tonight getting down to about 77 Fahrenheit, 25 Celsius. Outlook for Wednesday tomorrow, partly sunny for the northern half of the country. Variably cloudy for the central and southeast Bahamas. That pattern is going to hold for Thursday. And by Friday, as we said, variably cloudy across most areas with a 20 to 30% chance of showers. Holding for Saturday into Sunday. Tropics are quiet. Tropical cyclone formation not expected during the next 7 days. That's your Morning Blend weather check brought to you by Sherwin-Williams. If you're ready to refresh your space, we'll head to your local Sherwin-Williams for premium paint, pro tips, and everyday deals and make it easy to get started. And time for a check of traffic, brought to you by RBC. With RBC, your ideas happen here. Reminder of the work going on East Street between Wolf Road and Robinson Road, the milling and paving work. And you're asked to avoid the area if you can or follow the posted signs. Most of that work taking place at night between 9:30 p.m. and 1 a.m. Again, that's East Street between Wolf Road and Robinson Road. In your real-time traffic right now, we're seeing some heavy traffic at the six-legged roundabout. Multiple directions. So that's northbound on New Providence Highway, eastbound on John F. Kennedy Drive, and a bit of congestion on the Farrington Road side, southwestbound right now. Further south, we've got Milo Butler Highway, heavy traffic from Fire Trail straight up to Tawny Williams-Darling Highway in the roundabout. And you're going to be seeing issues both directions on Tawny Williams-Darling Highway, especially westbound. And on Carmichael Road, near Faith, slow-moving traffic eastbound on Carmichael. We've got Carmichael westbound seeing some slow-moving traffic if you're heading out to Coral Harbor Road. And once again, Saunders Beach, some slow-moving eastbound traffic along West Bay Street as you approach that roundabout with New Providence Highway. Elsewhere, we've got Blue Hill Road, heavy traffic as usual from St. Vincent straight up to Independence Drive, especially north of Carmichael. And both directions on Independence Drive seeing some slow-moving traffic, especially eastbound. Westbound as well, though. There might even be an issue for you westbound this morning. Keep that in mind. East Street backed up as a result of that, and heavy traffic north of Soldier Road if you're heading northbound, but also north of that roundabout, straight through to Robinson and even on to Balfour Avenue. And pockets along Eastern Road and Prince Charles Drive westbound this morning, especially Prince Charles west of Beatrice Avenue. That's real-time traffic in your morning blend traffic alert, brought to you by NUA Insurance Agents and Brokers. Your partner for smart insurance and advice that puts you first. Whether you're at home or on the go, getting an instant motor quote is easy. Give them a call or visit your nearest branch or log in anytime at nuainsurance.com.
Here's the Sure-winning art store moment from Shelley and Dee Dee.
We're the only full art store in the Bahamas. If we don't have it, we make a list, and trust me, our boss can get that. If you need that, he can get that. You can find sketchbooks, acrylics, the canvases in all sizes, stencils. We have the Angelus that they use on shoes and letters. We're the only persons in Nassau that carries the Montana spray. We have the Krylon sprays, watercolor in paints, the oil, chalk paints, the alcohol paint, metallic paints, the little Floetrol, and we have cleaning products for the artists, thinning products for the artists, and Crayola colors, and glitters, pencils, the Posca markers, and pastels, oil, and the acrylic pastels, dyes. Oh yeah. We also have airbrush paint. I didn't forget that part of the movie. Gift sets, hobby craft,
Oil, shrimp, stew, shrimp gumbo. But art supplies. We have a lot of them. Sherwin-Williams Art Store. Find colour in every day.
No one likes a fender bender.
Oh, man.
From a little scratch to a full mashup, NUA Insurance has got you covered with auto insurance tailored to fit your needs and budget. For affordable rates with free on-site accident assistance, visit us online or in branch and just ask us. NUA Insurance. Ask us because we've got you covered.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. 7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
In the world of business, technology is not a choice, it's a necessity. And for businesses that demand excellence, there's only one choice for unlimited support and cutting-edge technology. Custom Computers. You have challenges and we have solutions. Computing, networking, storage, and printing for enterprises large and small, aligned with premium brands like HP, Microsoft, Konica Minolta, and more. Get tech done the right way with Custom Computers. Call the Know-How team at 396-1101.
We are back with Morning Blend. Dwight Strong with Duquessadine with you on this Tuesday morning. Okay, so we've got a few more of these messages here. I don't think I can read many of these. We're talking about the by-election. There's going to be a lot more talk about that in the coming weeks, I'm sure. But anyway, let's take this one call, and then we want to move on to another issue. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
On Dwight Strong.
Hi, good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please.
Morning, question.
Good morning.
Yes, Dwight.
Hi.
The gentleman who running for the PLP, he already lose. Let me tell you why. What I said about the former MP and the party, that already break, that already smeared in there. He ain't gonna make it. Even the residents saying the same thing.
Okay.
That's all I call to say.
All right, thank you. That's not how it works, though, because there's been all manner of things said about everybody, multiple parties, all the parties, people, candidates in the past, things that they've said, and yet they keep getting elected. So it's no, it doesn't mean anything. Nobody's won or lost.
But we're weird people.
Very
weird. Because someone's dead, we get agitated when people talk negatively about those who have departed. Is it true? Was the constituency neglected? And it could be that his hands were tied. Yes, there could be many factors that we don't know. But is there truth to the statements, whether we like who said it or not? Mm-hmm. And it's regardless of whether he's alive or not. Like, is it a factual statement? The facts don't care about those sorts of things. Right. So for me, it's very confusing.
Yeah. Very interesting stuff. All right. Well, we will see. We got a few more weeks of this. We're hoping to have as many of the candidates on as possible.
Juicy.
We'll see. We'll put everything to them and see what they say and what they believe in and what they stand for.
Oh my gosh, are we gonna have a debate?
That one, don't hold your breath.
Oh gee.
But we did last week. Got a little bit of feedback, and again, don't hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. But hey, all right. So really quickly. So this is what we were talking about yesterday. Junkanoo and whether there would be, because we're getting conflicting reports. The JCMP is saying one thing, but how likely is it that these groups wouldn't take part?
Right.
In Boxing Day and New Year's Day, no matter how angry they are, no matter how upset they are with the government, how likely is that? All right, so this is again from the other paper, the Tribune. Junkanoo prep continues amid parade management chaos. So it says Junkanoos remain undeterred as they prepare for the Boxing Day and New Year's Day parades, despite ongoing tensions between the JCMP and the government over who should manage the events. At the heart of the dispute is the JCMP's refusal to recognize the breakaway Valley Boys group, the Way Forward Valley Boys, led by Trevor Davis. Reportedly the brother? It's not reportedly. Come on now.
He is.
Right. And I don't know if they're refusing to recognize it, but they have rules that were agreed to by Chunkers on how it should work for a new group. But anyway, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Mario Bolek, said the decision followed a poll in which 19 of 21 Junkanoo groups voted in favor of the NJC, the National Junkanoo Committee, assuming control. Well, inside Junkanoo shacks yesterday, artisans from several groups told the Tribune that their preparations are continuing as normal, One Saxons member said he hoped a resolution would soon be reached, but stressed the group's loyalty to the JCMP. He said, quote, there was no need to vote on it. We basically all felt the same way. Our representative has been keeping us informed, and we support the JCMP. He said the issue stems from the longstanding feud between the two Valley Boys factions, and but insisted the JCMP represented the people who actually made Junkanoo happen. He said that, well, quote, this major Catholic government intends to transfer management to an unprepared NJC, undermining decades of structure and regulations established by the JCMP. But he said Junkanoos are still focused on their work. Saying, quote, I don't believe the government would want a parade without the Saxons, one family, the original Valley Boys and Roots. We're all close-knit. If it comes down to it, we'll finish our costumes and stand on principle, even if that means not rushing.
Oh.
A craftsman with the world-famous Valley Boys, speaking on condition of anonymity, said the group fully supports the JCMP's continued role. Saying, quote, it's been going on too long. The government shouldn't have gotten so deep into it. Let the Junkanoos handle Junkanoo and let them handle the country. He said the dispute had not affected production, saying everything's on schedule. We have our plan and we're sticking to it. Former JCMP chairman Leslie Johnson and a one family artisan said it was too late in the year for plans. He said preparations began in February and called it impossible for another organization to take over now. He said, quote, all of our costumes were designed under JCMP rules. To come in November and say it should change shows a lack of understanding about what goes into preparing those parades. He said the government and the JCMP have always been partners, one managing production and the other providing the venue and support. It's a partnership. This is Johnson. It's a partnership that just needs to be formalized. If next year they want to change it, that's fine. Then I can decide whether I still want to be involved. But this year, the parades should be governed by the JCMP rules we've already worked under. Johnson questioned the purpose of switching control after more than 2 decades of partnership, suggesting compromise rather than upheaval. He said, quote, we know all this stems from the Valley Boys issue. The compromise should be to let both factions compete this year, but the JCMP must run the parade because that's the framework we've built everything around. He said costume work by the uncertainty. He said, quote, the production is going on because we've invested our time and our money. There's going to be parades. Under what conditions, I can't say, but people need to understand we all love Junkanoo. Nobody wants to go anywhere else but Bay Street under the committee our costumes were designed for. Okay. All right, let's get your reaction to that really quickly, folks. Give us a call, 323-6232. 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300-5720. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. There was supposed to be, we were told, a meeting yesterday, JCMP and the government or the Prime Minister, but that didn't happen. That didn't happen. It hasn't been rescheduled. I don't know, but it is getting late. It is November. This is a lot of...
It's pretty close. I kind of like what somebody said, one of those said in the article, to finish the year out. Like, it's under their rules for so long, and then give notice that, okay, after the New Year's event or whatever, maybe another body will be taking over. But I agree. It's short notice, and if they've been governed by this particular, there should have been a better notice period to allow for a proper transition.
Yeah, absolutely. Caller, you're on the air. Good morning. Turn on your radio for us, please. Turn on your radio. Are you there?
Hello.
Hi, yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Hey, I would like to say something about the politicians with Mr. Pickstock, and about the Junkanoo.
Okay, sure.
With everybody is saying what the comments that he made, I understand what they're saying, and we have something else that we could determine if he is serious on working for the people, and he just came out of the Senate. Nobody is saying about what he was doing in the Senate or how he was representing the people in the Senate. I don't know if they still have the overview of the Senate on TV. But if they do see how he represent himself doing, representing the people when he was in the Senate, nobody's talking about that.
I mean, do you watch the Senate? Yes, they still do it. I mean, there's really nothing much to say. I mean,
Well, I know, but it's still something dealing with the people's business, regardless on how little it is or how big is it. Mightn't be in the headline a lot, but how I'm more concerned of how he represents himself around the people's business, the documents, the arguments before it goes back to the cabinet. I really want to hear people talking about that, about how he demonstrated his business in the past. And regardless of what he said, he's looking for a job, and every person that is representing a job, even if you and your best friend going up against a job, or if your best friend had a job or your brother had a job, you are going to say that you could do the job better than him. I mean, he is selling himself now. Okay, regardless of who been in power before him or who had the job before him, he's representing himself, and he most likely is going after someone's job or it's going to take over a person's job. They're going to say that they could do a job better than them.
yeah, that's how it works.
So that's not something to crucify the man for.
Sure. Let me ask you: are you in the constituency? Are you in Golden Isles?
No, I am not. I am in Seabreeze.
Oh, okay.
I am in Seabreeze, but I'm saying we crucify people for some things that we do ourselves, and only because it makes good headlines, we run with it. And sometimes the media put things in the headlines, or even people out in the public who are also running or who are also part of politics, they put things in the headlines, and some people just run with it without even thinking. Why am I crucifying this person? And I do the same thing.
Yeah. I don't know if anyone has been crucified here, but it's interesting comments.
Right.
But do you, in your area, are the parks and the potholes and those issues dealt with?
The park is okay. The park is clean. We have exercise and stuff out there and on. We do always have problems with flooding. I would like to see some more drainage going there, even if it's slow drainage. Give me whatever I could take. They're putting down water and sewage is doing some work on in the road now. I know we as Bahamians work slowly, but it's a progress going either way. From that time, Dwight, we always have problems with low pressure inside the east, regardless of what part of the east you're from, and dirty water. So I'm looking forward for that to change. With the new pipelines that is going inside the area. Leslie, she's pretty a good candidate. She's proven herself every day, and I hope that she continue to prove herself to be even better in the future. As a young candidate, as a young person that came into politics, she has the people heart. She has meetings every month. She's with the people them who has business in the area. That tries to promote everybody, put stuff out there for people who's looking for jobs. The community knows about her, and she's not afraid to talk to people or even email you back.
Yeah.
So I wish everywhere would. I don't know if everywhere does it.
No,
everywhere's
not like that. Everywhere is not like that.
So she's not hard to get up. She's that. Now concerning Junkanoo, this is what really scares me, especially for the PLP. Politics should stay with politics, and whatever the people has, let the people deal with it. And I don't know how far the government have their hand in Junkanoo, but that's the people torch. And you should just be the mediator and let the people argue their differences, and even if they have to take their hands out of it and let somebody deal with it, let them deal with it. If they have to let the courts deal with it, let them fight their battles.
Yeah.
And now it comes to a point that you have and I'm a Saxon, I want to see Saxons out there. And if I don't see Saxons out there, I'm totally disappointed. So that's my heart. Junkanoo is my heart. And Junkanoo is the only entity in the Bahamas that brings every person together. I don't care what religions you are. I don't care what politics you're into. It brings everybody out, and everybody could communicate to each other on Bay Street. So something that's powerful, you should not interfere with. You understand what I'm saying?
I've been saying for days, I don't believe that there will not be Junkanoo. This will be resolved somehow before,
I hope so.
before
I really
before
hope
the
so.
end of this month. All right.
I hope so.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Thanks for the
Right,
call.
man.
Appreciate
Yep.
it. All right. One more call really quickly, and then we got to read these messages and we'll go to a break. Good morning, caller on the air.
Good morning, Dwight. How are you?
Doing well. Good morning.
Okay, and who's the number there?
Duquesa.
Morning, Duquesa. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well, and you?
I'm fine, thank you. As it relates to Junkanoo, Dwight, I completely disagree with the last caller. First and foremost, without the government of the Bahamas, Junkanoo would not have developed to the point that it has developed. If we analyze what's going on with Junkanoo, the government's footprint, and by extension, the people's footprint by our tax dollars, is all over Junkanoo. We foot the bill for Junkanoo primarily. We foot the bill for every aspect of Junkanoo, whether it be public relations, whether it be marketing, whether it be television, whether it be security, whether it be access to the roads, whether it be the cost of the bleachers, whether it be the seed money, whether it be the partnerships that the government is in partnership with, where the funding comes from primarily to assist the Junkanooers to a huge degree, with the bigger funding, even more than what the government provides. All of those things are as a result of taxpayer sacrifice and taxpayer funding, directly or indirectly. By extension, the government who's responsible for managing. Junkanoo is our biggest one-day celebration in this country. No way in the world should it have ever been in the hands of private practitioners. They have a role to play, partners, of course, but they don't own the parade. They don't have the responsibility for setting the regulatory regime for the parade, how the parade operates, and how the parade expands throughout the country and throughout the world. That's the Bahamas government's responsibility. No one should be in the way of that. As it relates to PLP, former senator.
Well, I mean, this was agreed to by the government and the Junkanoos.
What was
right?
agreed to?
To have the JCMP manage the parade.
It was never agreed to. That's why there is no documentation that gives them the authority
Anton, come on.
to take ownership of the parade.
No one said anything about ownership, but they
have management aspect, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Aspect.
That's what I said.
But they were operating, Dwight, well beyond their remit, well beyond their authority. Okay, and it's almost as though the way they were operating, they were trying to choke the living life out of any organization that did not want to go along with their demands, with their unrealistic demands of the government of the Bahamas. No matter what country in the world you are, no government should negotiate under threat. No government should negotiate with persons who are trying to weaponize our culture. No government. That is just plain unacceptable, Dwight, no matter where you want to work. As it relates to the other aspect of the conversation that you were having with former Cabinet Minister Vaughn Miller, God rest his soul. Look, to the last caller, there is no competition. There is no competition at all within the PLP that should explode externally. There is no competition within the PLP that should explode externally, especially in a negative light. Secondly, we are talking about politics. Politics is a matter of numbers. Numbers being the constituents who are registered to vote and those who will actually come out and vote. A lot of those persons supported Vaughn Miller when he was an F&M candidate. A lot of those persons supported Vaughn Miller when he walked the floor and became independent and then joined the PLP, and then they supported him to become. He still has loved ones in the community. He still has friends in the community. No one should be out here on the PLP side of the fence undermining him or speaking any kind of ill or negativity about him at all.
You're saying that because you feel that's
acceptable.
Do you feel that's what happened?
I feel that the perception, Dwight, as you very well know, in many instances is reality, unfortunately, in this country. Not amongst right-thinking people, but on the ground, perception is reality.
Okay, but do you feel that's what happened? Do you feel that?
And during the political season, people in the opposition who oppose you and want to be where you are, take advantage of that. Now, Dwight, we are the government now. We were the government for the last 4 years. And so there's no separating what took place in Golden Isles
from the Progressive Liberal Party. There is no separating. The messaging was just brought about in an incorrect way, and it needs to be corrected from this point moving forward, going into the by-election. The work is getting done now. Right? Minister Vaughn Miller had made the predetermination before his passing, his unfortunate passing, that he was going to spend more time with his family and his children, his wife and his children, and that was his priority, and he was stepping aside from politics. There's no need for anyone on our side to be caught up in any way, shape, or form in any discussion that undermines the PLP or the former representative, who is a PLP member of parliament and a PLP executive, being the cabinet minister of this country. And that's my input.
Okay.
This is not a competition within the PLP. The competition is against those who want our seat. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless.
I think those comments are doing more damage than good. I don't know if those things should be said, but okay.
Is there inner fighting? Like, is
I
there
don't know.
inner
Maybe we
fighting
didn't
or
think so,
something?
but it sounds like there might be now.
Just
What are you saying,
my
Anton?
mind
That's
went to
kinda
like,
weird.
are they having inner fighting
What's going
or
on?
whatever? Like,
That's weird.
is no competition? Someone else from the PLP running for the
They
seat?
should have maybe
I
put that
don't-
in the BLP WhatsApp group, not on national
wow.
radio. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm scratching the little hair I have. That was odd. Okay. Woo. Have to process it.
It's passionate. It was passionate.
People blowing some things out of proportion. Okay. Really quick, as we go to the break, this person says here, question, have we seen any rules or policy frameworks from the NJC on how they would judge and manage the parade? We had them on a few weeks ago. They talked about, the only thing they said was they're trying to not have a penalty. It's been groups are penalized for any little thing. They say they're trying to get away from that stuff, and it would be more.
So
I know
no-
they're focusing
no.
on. They're not going to change much. They manage the parades in every other part of the country. They do. They're not preschoolers. This is not the first time they'll be doing this. But other than that, I don't think much is going to change. But we'll know. We'll know more over the next few weeks, it seems, if we get to this point at all. Yeah, this person says Dwight Anton had a rough night. He, I don't know what's happening.
Something.
He forgot it was Prime Minister Christie who gave the Juggalos the right to govern their own parades. Anton, I'm sorry for you. You're making it worse for your government.
It was
I don't know
weird.
who told you to say that or what you got for saying it. Oh, boy. But let them know we are going to fire them.
My God.
People need to understand that Pickstock and Company blew out the ambition. What? No, this is getting worse. Okay, so this is what he's talking about. This infighting here. Some of the comments are weird. All right, we don't need to be
Yeah,
mixed
we
up
don't
in
even
your,
wanna know.
in your
Right.
madness.
No.
We don't need to.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break.
Wow.
This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
Are you searching for something new? Something exciting? Your dream job in paradise? Well, look no further. Royal Beach Club Paradise Island is hiring. Join a dynamic group of passionate hospitality professionals, craft unforgettable moments, and thrive in a vibrant, welcoming atmosphere. Play your part in shaping the future of our team while growing your own career every day. Bring your energy, your passion, and your creativity to a workplace that's as dynamic and fun as you are. At Royal Beach Club Paradise Island, the opportunities don't just exist. They're limitless. So are you ready to find your perfect fit? Visit Royal Beach Club at paradiseisland.com/career to a world of exciting possibilities.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
KB
And we are back with Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9. Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And we're changing gears now, telling you about a special event coming up at the University of the Bahamas. Joining us to tell us more about this, welcome Professor at University of the Bahamas, Dr. Marquis Jean-Pierre. Good to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Strachan. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right, so this is the Bahamas and Haitian Creole Festival.
Yes, sir.
Is this the first time this is happening at UB?
That is the second time, but the first time was I was just trying it, but now we are taking it to the next level now.
Okay, so tell us about this. Why have this event, and what are the goals and objectives there? You can tell that up a little bit.
Sure. This event is basically about celebrating our language and our culture. So this is the Creole language, and here we are talking about the language that emerged in the post-Columbian, post-colonial, post-slavery era. And as I said, after Columbus has done everything that you knew that he has done, right. And then we had colonialism, and then we had slavery, all those things emerged from this dynamic. Mm-hmm. In the case of Haiti started to develop its Creole language since. In fact, there are some writers who study Creole from 1804, but me, I do not study Creole from 1804. I study Creole from 1492, because when Columbus came to the island, he had some people with him who spoke several languages, right. And then he met the people in the larger Caribbean region, including the Bahamas. Those people spoke several languages. So what there, it was the place where several languages were going to meet one another, and that was the space already to create languages. Mm-hmm. So what is specific in the case of Haiti is that Haiti, that was the first independent black country in the world and in the larger region in 1804. We had the French language, but before the French language, we had the Spanish language. So the French took over in 1697 after the fight with Spain that separated the island between the Dominican Republic and Haiti. Mm-hmm. And since 1697, bring us from Africa. Well, they said that they were bringing slaves from Africa. That wasn't true. They were not bringing slaves from Africa. They were bringing people from Africa to be enslaved in the Caribbean region. Yep. In my work, I never use the concept of slave. I use the concept enslave a subject, right. Because no one has never been essentially slave. So people have been in a subjugated a condition based on the existing power structure, and the person could not do anything. So they call it slave as if there was something essential. But anyway, those people found a way to create values and to create a culture, to create a language. Mm-hmm. So in the case of Haiti, this is where you have the development and emergence of the Creole language. When we became the first independent country in 1804, Haiti was basically the only country in the larger American continent that was free from European influence. So the Creole language is spoken in Martinique, Guadeloupe, Mauritius, the countries, but the Creole language of Haiti is relatively more advanced linguistically because of that reason, because Haiti was left alone to develop its culture, its language, its tradition. So this is why Haiti has a very rich cultural tradition, and that is also expressed in its language and the richness of its language. Myself, as a professor of French and Creole, in more I am studying the Creole language, more I am discovering the nature of this language. And then there was the professor Chomsky, who passed away last year, who was the father of modern linguistics, and he did say how the Creole language is that language, the Haitian Creole language is that language that show how we develop language in the contemporary world. That means we study French, we study English, but when we are speaking these languages, when we are studying it, we are studying a language that was built by people before. Right. But the Creole language in Haiti show us in the modern era how people engage in the act of developing a language. Wow. So it's a very important tool to study how people engage in the act of creative linguistic nature, linguistic values. And many researchers use that language to study linguistic now. So, but anyway, the case of Haiti is emblematic of the societies that emerged in the post-Columbian era. Mm-hmm. So this is what we have in common.
And it's relatively new, right, compared to some other.
Definitely,
Yeah,
this is this is one of the newest language.
Right.
I'm going to look at the case of Haiti since 1804. People are talking about over 200 years, although we talk about since Columbus.
Right.
But the languages are they are still evolving. And when I go to Jamaica, of course, as a researcher, I go to downtown Jamaica. I hear there is a language being spoken, and they sweet that is not the language that I learned in books. and the same thing also in all of the English-speaking Caribbean societies. When I studied the language that is being spoken in the Shuita and the DR, Dominican Republic, I do not see all the time the Spanish language that I studied in book. And now that I am in the Bahamas, and before I came here, I was in New Orleans. I was teaching at Tulane University, and then I was called to come here to the Bahamas. I was studying also the Creole language in Louisiana. And then it's interesting to see the value of the language. In fact, there is an organization that's called La Creole. So how they are really studying this language. And what is it? It's like how we who have been in a condition of subjugation, how we create values. And this value is expressed in the language. And I was just listening to you talking about Junkano. I'm sorry I cannot say the word correctly. And you see, Junkano, Rara, and in the case of Haiti, all of those music and rhythms, they carry the expression of this history. And it is also being expressed in the language. This is what we are celebrating. So all societies that emerge in the post-Columbian era, we create values, we create things. And we have the European values, we have the African values, we have also some Asian values, but there is something specific about us. What we create on this Caribbean land that we have inherited, and that we create societies, we are creating a language, we are creating a culture. That's why while I'm in the Bahamas, in fact, I'm very lucky to be in the Bahamas to continue my research on this. I'm this being, this cultural being and linguistic being to Junkano, but also I am looking at the emergence of a language in the Bahamas. Right. And then I am happy to work with, I'm very glad to meet with some people at some faculty at UB who has also engaged in the Bahamas.
Right.
And I'm very interested in that, but I don't know much about it yet.
Well, let's talk a little bit about that, because there are people who are saying that there's so few rules when it comes to what we see, and that the term Creole when we talk about it, but Bahamian Creole English isn't as defined as Haitian Creole or other, as you mentioned, Patois or Jamaica. Let's talk about that. And is it just evolving, or
is it evolving?
Yeah.
In fact, linguistically speaking, we don't even use the word Patois. Because whenever you use the word patois dialect, it's like you consider that there is some form of hierarchy among human beings that show that someone can be superior to someone else based on the language that they speak.
Right.
And there is someone, and there is a professor at the University of Massachusetts who call a dialect is a language with an army, a language with an army and a language without an army. So the English language will be a language with an army because it's a rich language because of the power of those countries, and those languages and those other languages that we speak in the Caribbean, they will kind of undervalue them. But there is no such thing. All those languages are rule governed.
Yeah.
And this is what a linguist has showed us. Because in fact, myself, since I've been here in the Bahamas since 2018. I've been trying to say the word. What you say, I fail miserably. I ask my colleague; they always have fun of me. My colleague, I have a colleague. Whenever she wants to make fun of me, she asks me to say Junkano because I don't have the local culture, the cultural competence that the Bahamian has to say those words the way they do them.
Right.
And when you go to states that you use that they are rule governed. Yeah. They have rules, they have phonetic rules, they have syntactic rule. And so those things are to be studied as opposed to see, this is something that to be neglected. In the case of Haiti, that's where we were about 100 years ago.
Okay.
Haitians take time to to value their language. And until when I was at school in Haiti, it was only French. I do not negate the value in French. I'm a full-time professor of French. I have a doctoral degree in French. I studied French. I work in French. So I am interested in multilingualism. I'm interested in that people in the larger Caribbean region develop a performance in English, Spanish, and French, but also consider the values inspire also to our local culture. But now, in the case of the Bahamas, we can rely on the standard English. This is also the case of most of the Caribbean societies. Even in the case of the Dominican Republic, they can really rely on the standard Spanish language. But now, in the case of Haiti, the society can no longer rely on the French language anymore. The big boss in town is the Creole language. But it took us years to get there. Even in my research, I studied the Constitution since 1805 until 1987, I found all of the governments have downplayed the value of the Creole language. It wasn't until the Constitution of 1987 that make the language a national language, and they established a Haitian Creole Academy that is now working on the Creole language. And I'm happy to be part of this academy. So I'm a member of this academy now. I am in Nassau, but this academy is in Haiti, and then they are working to structure to this Creole language.
So, Dr. Marquis Jean-Pierre, do you feel that we need to start writing down the rules of our Bahamian dialect? Do we need to do it? Because we can't even agree on how to spell Bay and some other things that we say when we're writing it. Are we at that point?
We have I will even cite her name. We have a professor, an excellent professor at UB. Her name is Professor Shanti Semo. She has done some great work on Bahamian Creole, and tomorrow she will be presenting on Bahamian Creole. And then she is my reference about Bahamian Creole. In fact, when I heard I have been trying to capture modes of speaking in the community. The question, so what's going on? And then I heard someone told me, well, this is Bahamianese. This is called Bahamianese. I don't even think I said the word correctly. And I went to talk to Professor Simo, and then she was like, no, this is called Bahamian Creole language. So that means the language is being studied. So tomorrow at the event, she will be talking about that, and more people will learn about that. But I'm glad at least the conversation can be open. Myself as a researcher, is since I am conducting research on the larger Caribbean region, including the Bahamas, my question as a researcher, is there a local language in the Bahamas? And this question, I talk to more people, to people who are specialists and who know the culture, who know the tradition, who know the language. They are helping me to address this question.
Yeah. Well, we know the answer, because if we can say certain things that Bahamians will understand, people from outside the country will not understand what you're saying.
That's the key.
That's the key.
And that is one thing that protects the community.
Yeah.
So it's okay. We can have money. We can do everything, but there's something specific to the community that keep the community together.
Right.
And like if you go to Haiti, there are things we are saying to each other that no one else can understand.
Right.
And this is because we are a speech community. So so we call that the Bahamian speech community. What is specific to the Bahamian speech community that keep an outsider outside?
Right. Wow, this is fascinating stuff. All right, so this is what you're going to be dealing with tomorrow. Tell us more about the event tomorrow, and how people can be involved in this.
Tomorrow, we would like you to join us, please, for this event. It's going to be at the auditorium of the library. The flyer that we distributed is said the Performing Arts Center, but it's going to be at the auditorium of the library, the big building at the center of the campus. And we're going to have music. We're going to have some dances, some Creole dances. We're going to have the Goombay Ensemble, who is going to play for us under the direction of one of our amazing professors at the School of at the Performing Department, Performing Arts and Department at UB. And then we have we have quite a few talks. And one thing that I really like that we're going to have tomorrow is that we're going to have our amazing Bahamian authors I didn't ask him for his permission to cite his name here, but I'm going to do it. Professor Tinker Keefe, the author of People's Migrants from the Caribbean. It is an amazing work that shows how the Bahamas has become a country in terms of a population. And then we will have the Haitian ambassador who's going to talk. We have quite a few talks. My talk is going to be on Creoleness, the Creoleness as a phenomenon, as a theory. Because if you look at the work of Edward Glissant in Martinique, his work is what was that the world is being creolized, and what does that mean for us? It's very important. So that make us that give us an ability to study our group, like as I said before, ourselves in the larger Caribbean region. We do not reject our European values, reject our African values. We do not reject any of the value of those continents that put together to make who we are. But we embrace all of them and we make something out of that. And this is what we call Creole. And it is being expressed in language and culture and music. And according to Professor Edward Glissant, it is a form of a mode of being that is showing the future of the world. Right. In fact, according to him, the larger Caribbean region is showing the world can be at some time and point.
Nice. And again, this is starting at
5 to 7:30.
Okay.
We're going to have some good music. We're going to have some good food too, some Haitian food and Bahamian food. Okay. All free. Please, everyone, join us.
And just show up.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up with your hand ready to clap for some people.
This is wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing it. A lot to think about this morning.
Yes.
And we'll do more of that tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Dr. Marquis Jean-Pierre, thank you very much. In the Haitian Creole Festival tomorrow at the library.
The library of the the auditorium of the library.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful stuff. Thank you again.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right. We're going to break for news and be back. When we come back, hey, the silver economy. We're going to get into that when we return. This is Morning Blend on Guardian Radio 96.9.
It's the start of a new way. Don't you know that it's the start of the end of the old way. Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, streaming on GuardianTalkRadio.com and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Wake up, it's a new day. Wake up, it's a new day.
Good morning and welcome to Morning Blend Business on this Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Welcome back to our Morning Blend listeners. Once again, I'm Dwight Strachan along with Duquesa Dean. And you've heard of the orange economy. You've heard of the blue economy, but have you heard of the silver economy? We're going to be talking about that today with our guests from ArrowLink Ventures. We've got CEO Travis Miller and Marketing and Programming Coordinator Shanna Edgecombe. Great to have you with us. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you guys for having us as well, too.
All right, so we got Shanna.
Morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. That was a special tease. The program is Silver Carib, right? That's how you pronounce it. Yeah. So tell us about it. What is the silver economy, and what are we talking about here?
Yeah. So the silver economy is problems and challenges around individuals 60 plus, right? So if you are what is considered a senior citizen or individual within that age range, it comes with a variety of different challenges. So it is estimated that 1 in 4 individuals by 2050 will be in 60 plus years old. From census data, since we last had the census to now, it's increased 9.3%. As we all know, our average retirement age is between 60 and 65. But our life expectancy is 74.5 years, last estimates, right? So in that range of what do individuals do with their life after they're finished, their first act of their career, if they're retired, are they exploring opportunities to do something else? If they have a low risk appetite, are they looking to invest in certain things? But then also challenges around healthcare, pensions, which put a lot of pressure and strains on the government in terms of to continue to serve this population. So what we're doing with this project for the silver economy is trying to see, one, how to educate the population a little bit more about this challenge, and also to educate them on the opportunities of the challenge by trying to serve this space, right? So also within that 2015 to 2030, estimated that 30% of consumption goes towards trying to tackle this demographic or the people spending money in this demographic. So there's a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
So what we're doing as Arlink Ventures, we already been working in the entrepreneur space. Now we're in partnership with IDB Lab, trying to figure out how we could find some innovation around solving this challenge, and then how to do it not only here, but in the region, because we're also doing this with our Latin American, Caribbean partners as well too.
Wow. All right. So we want to get to what the future is going to look like, but what are we looking at right now? Are people focused on this right now? What are the opportunities for folks in this demographic at the moment?
Oh yeah, definitely. So again, one of the low-hanging fruits is, let's say someone's getting ready to retire, but they're still very active. If you look at, if you could throw a stone and you could see somebody who is in that age, still active, still wants to work, still is passionate about life. So there's a lot of
the cost of things here, you might have to do it.
Yeah, right, exactly. So and that's the next side of the coin as well too, right? So you have people who definitely still want to work and still want to be active. They don't want to just sit down and just retire and be passive. But also instances they don't have the other means in order to support not working.
Right.
So there's opportunities in that regard in terms of okay, how do we keep these people active? Isolation and loneliness is a big thing as well too for individuals at this stage. How do we keep them connected within a community? And then also how do we, because it might be a demographic for them by itself, but it affects everybody. So even when you talk about the healthcare side of things, if you've ever had aging parents, that could be, and if you're a caregiver, that there's a lot of things that come with that. How can we make that process easier for caregivers or a little bit less of strains for caregivers? You've seen, if you look at the region, seen opportunities where people have done a spin on Uber where they just do car pickup and transportation for individuals that can't drive anymore.
Oh, wow.
Little low-hanging fruit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just social groups and connected activities where they could talk about longevity. I mean, if you go to New York, you probably would see people doing Tai Chi in the park.
Yep. Right. Yep.
We could do so much of that here.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
what I mean? For sure. So yeah, that's some of the opportunities that are out there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's talk about the company and how your vision is set up, what you have planned, and how this is going to look going forward.
Yeah. So like we said before, Arlink Ventures, we already work a lot with the entrepreneurship community here. And when people think about entrepreneurship, when they think about innovation, they don't really think about older people doing it, right? When these are very much innovative individuals themselves. So I think over the last few months, because this is a 4-year project that we're working on, we've been trying to educate people no, these are people that are also working at coming up with new ideas per se. You have individuals who you could identify now as a part of the silver economy that would be great at mentorship or trying to pass off that knowledge and that information to younger generations coming through as well too. Yeah. And there's also a lot of opportunities for intergenerational bridges, what we're trying to build as well too, in terms of a mentorship. Gowan Bo, who we had on one of our silver forums a few months ago, talking about it from a financial perspective. We were exploring different ideas in terms of okay, what does it look like for an older person who might not want to be solely active in a business, but has some equity and capital that they want to, make work for them. How do they partner with younger individuals and build a business to try to solve a challenge within that space? So where we're at right now, we're already a little bit more halfway through a lot of the educational components that we want to do, like forums where we just talk about awareness, where we talk about what aging and longevity looks like, how you could live a healthier life. What does that mean for individuals who are caregiving and what they need to do in that regard. And then the next step is that we want to do a series of accelerators. An accelerator is just basically an intensive 8-week program where we mandate or galvanize individuals to solve the challenges in the space and work on that for 8 weeks, and then see if we could spin businesses out of that as well too.
Yeah.
And then the third component of that is to continue to build that mentorship platform, and especially trying to tie in a lot of the expat community that we have here as well too, because that's a wealth of knowledge there, and they have a wealth of regional knowledge as well too, that we think could give people a competitive advantage if we figure out a way to tap into extracting that wisdom.
And what has the response been like?
Yeah.
Response has been good. So when we first launched the program, we did like a general survey in terms of where people feel like these are the most important aspects of the silver economy is. Like, for example, just pulling up some data right quick. Wellness is the primary focus that we need to focus on in the space right now. And then followed by that is like financial stability and income. And then most people have been interested in learning more about funding opportunities for silverpreneurship, if you will, if you want to call that, to get funding for people who want to work in the space as well too. And then a lot of training and workshops for reskilling and upskilling as well too, because it's interesting times. AI is a big craze that everybody's talking about as well too. But it could be so productive, and it's low hanging fruit for people to get in there to figure out how do we leverage technologies.
Yeah.
So people are definitely interested to finding out like how they could maximize their potential. Right. Because people are living longer a little bit, but they still have challenges with living longer as well too.
Shauna, you can jump in too. So who are the people though? Are these people already in that age category, or these are people who are going to be there like you projected in a few years down the road?
So it's a combination of both. We've been talking to individuals in that space, but then we're also looking for and trying to galvanize younger individuals who might not necessarily work directly in that space, but maybe serve in that demographic already and they don't really even know it. So like a part of the accelerator that we want to do, it kind of round up the case studies or the use cases for individuals to like tackle what could possibly be a new vertical for an existing company, or just think about a new idea as well too.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, because in reality, there are so many people who reach that silver stage, like you call it, who don't want to just sit down, but you're required to retire by a particular time, and they don't want to just sit down. They want to be involved. They want to be active. Tell us more about what involvement they would have in your initiatives. Like, is it a daily thing? Is it just when you have cohorts? Is it like, how does that work for the person that just retired Friday and is interested in staying active and getting out of the house? Like, how does it work in that regard?
Go ahead, Chana.
So when it comes to the accelerator program, we do have considerations for persons who are retired, right? So they're being mixed with younger persons who have products and services dedicated to the silver economy, or those who are in the silver economy and want to either start or grow their business. So the things that we have been talking about, for example, is, what is the capacity to sit through 2-3 hour classes and do assignments. And then we have to think about how tech savvy are people. These are the things that we are considering and walking through when it comes to ensuring that we have inclusion, right? It's almost like, if you have an event but you have something that can cause physical obstacles for people to get into the event, but yet you're saying that the event is for them. So these are some of the things that we're thinking about. Our accelerator program will be 8 weeks. It's condensed, it's useful, it's very relevant, and it's for anyone who just has an idea up until if you have a business that is working, one of the great things about the accelerators that we do is that we can customize it based on who is in the program. So there will be check-ins. There will be what we call a super office hour, right? Where every single entrepreneur gets to sit with our team for an hour and just go deep into their individual business on top of the group setting that we will have instruction.
Wow. I'm just thinking while you were both talking, I'm like,
Yeah.
how, because there's a large number of people in this category, but we've not made many adjustments
No,
at all.
absolutely.
And only
this
now
is the magic
because
of the show, baby.
so
Yeah,
many
yeah.
of us are
Yeah.
about to end up in this group or
Yeah.
will in a few years. Now we're thinking about it, which is unfortunate. But it's great that we're finally getting there. But I'm just thinking about how challenging it is to navigate if you are in your 70s or 80s.
Yeah. Now,
in
granted,
this place right now.
And again, if you look at it like this, right? So as it comes to mind, you're probably thinking of one individual, or a
Yeah.
type of individual that might need a lot of assistance, but also the individuals in that age who are very active and very still sharp in terms of like how they go about day to day, and also coming across a lot of existing business owners that we talked to already. They're still very much, I think the business is actually keeping them like active and healthy as well too. But also they're coming across the challenge that they might not have thought about succession planning in terms of what happens after the business.
Right.
So a leverage of entrepreneurship in that regard could look like, okay, what does it look like for somebody to come in succession to take over the business where they still could, get equity from their business, but they don't have to be active on a day-to-day basis, right? Your point in terms of like how we plan to continue to engage this community, we've also find that once they're connected, like there is a coffee club, if you will, of individuals that always get together where they always discuss ideas still and they get together. So we definitely want to tap into that social aspect, and hopefully in a perfect world, we would see like the younger people could come to the coffee as well too and have conversations, similar to like meetups that we also do as well too.
Yeah.
So my question would then be, how do we get younger people, well, I guess both of them, the mature category and the more younger people, to respect how the generations functions? Because, the younger generation may be more tech savvy. The older generations may that in their way. Like I know some people who they want to write everything down. Then you have the young people who take your notes in their phones. So is there a program as a part of your accelerator program that teaches about how to relate to, connect with, or respect people within certain generations?
So even before, it's the project is based off of 3 components. The accelerator is component 2. So right now we're doing component 1, which is a set of educational workshops and trainings. We call a lot of that silver forums, where we just bring people to the table just to have awareness of it, right? So like it's not too unsimilar to the current experience that I'm experiencing with you guys as well. Like you haven't heard of it before or really gave it thought, but now you see it like playing in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
And to your point, I think the biggest thing that we are trying to communicate is that we're all going to get there, hopefully, get there eventually. So what we're planning to do is like educating the younger generation that maybe these are some things that you should be thinking about, especially when it comes to finances, especially when it comes to just retirement generations, to realize, you still have a lot more to give. You know what I mean? In terms of how do you continue to give back to the community, and how do we not lose this knowledge, especially in the Bahamas, for doing that. And then hopefully over time, we take this model and then we could go to our brothers and sisters in Trinidad. We have UEs already working on this problem in their own way as well too, in Jamaica. And then in the bigger Latin American Caribbean as well too.
Tell us about that. Tell us about your partners and the regional work that's happening and how that's looking. Shanna?
Hi. Sorry, there's a delay on my end, I think. What I wanted to jump in and say is that I think as a country, we need to have more conversation when it comes to bridging the gap, right? Because there is or can be some resentment on both sides. But as a mentor of mine told me, he was in his 70s. He said, and he had wealth, right? And he said people approach him who are younger and they want funding for their business. But the problem is they don't know how to explain it to him, especially if they're talking about tech. And so the issue is he's something that he does not understand. So that is also something that we need to be thinking of as well when we're talking about intergenerational. Not only how to work together, but how do we build businesses together? How do we have succession planning? Because a lot of us who are younger, the issue is we have the ideas, but not the funding.
Yeah.
We want to have events, but we don't have the space. But then there are older people who may have the assets, they may have the money, but then how do we speak to them? It's not even a matter of finding them. It's how do we understand and get them to buy into the vision that we have a challenge with.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. We're talking with Travis Miller and Shanna Edgecombe with Arrowlink Ventures, and we're talking about the Silver Economy Growth Hub, Silver Carib. All right. So I was asking about your partners and what's happening regionally here.
Yeah. So our big partner is IDB Lab. They are their main primary partner with this, and then we also have the Chamber of Commerce. UB Ignite, we're also doing a set of workshops with as well too. Crypto Isle, which is our big space partner. You know, we always meet at Crypto Isle, and then when we get ready to do a lot of production around it, like with videos and stuff, we plan to work with Full Court Films, which is Tony Williams. Okay. So those are like main partners. We're still looking for partners. Okay. It is a big undertaking. We're still hopefully looking for like a primary technology partner as well too, especially how we navigate how individuals in the space will use technology, how we can leverage technology, and then health partners as well too.
I was going to say,
yeah, we definitely looking for health partners. So the last Silver Forum we had a doctor talk on the forum as well too. Dr. Khalil, is it Khalil Parker? I apologize, but yeah, we had, and then Alexis Hanna, who is also a caregiver as well too. So we definitely looking for more health partners, and then government as well too. Primarily government. We love to work with the health and wellness space, foreign affairs, especially when it comes to like the expat component as well too. Mm-hmm. So this is just a bly putting it out there in the universe if you are hearing this. We're happy with the partners that we have now. We're continuing to work with it. And again, it's a 3 to 4 year project, so we definitely have a lot of space for people to do right now. We are in year one. Okay. We are awesome. Not even year one. So and then we've worked with the IDB in the past on a lot of different ecospace projects. And they're very passionate about the silver economy because they see that wave coming, especially from Latin America and Caribbean. Right. I was just at a conference in Barcelona at the beginning of the year. I'd have to go to El Salvador again because everybody's trying to figure out how do we tackle this huge wave that is coming for a lot of people. So we definitely have the support, and we still could use a lot of support too.
So how are we doing compared to the rest of the region? The Bahamas versus what we're seeing?
That's a good question, and it always comes down to data, right? Okay. And the lack of data that we have as well too. So I think a big part of the project is that we want to capture a lot of the information. Obviously, a lot of it is anecdotal, but you could see like there's a lot of room for improvement, whether that might be accessibility, whether that might be, again, the situation that we have right now in terms of like a lot of the older generations are still working in jobs that they've been in because, again, they don't have those. But this causes a bottleneck because it doesn't leave a lot of room for younger people to come in as well, too. And Shauna touched on it in terms of like there's a lot of resentment on both sides. The young people are doing this, the old people are doing this. But there's a lot of middle ground for opportunity. So I think even without having the hard data, there's still a lot of possibilities in order for what could, things that could happen.
Shannon, let's explore that some more, though. I mean, because you hear it all the time. I don't know why this old person go home
these young
and mind the grandbabies. But what can we do to get each other? What do you recommend? I know you said the dialogue is important.
Yeah, so I have grown an appreciation for the older generation, obviously outside of family members, because I actually ended up in the old people talk at the local coffee shop, right? And so I was able to listen and hear their viewpoints, and so I grew an understanding of it's not necessarily about resentment, but it's almost like a level of entitlement that can come across from the younger generation, and then not asking enough questions. Sometimes it's just, you're old, you're not doing this right, I have a better way. Whereas it's not stopping to ask, well, why do you do this in the first place? Sometimes it's about how you say it and how you posture yourself. And so I think we can, both sides, listen. We can do much better, and that's a good thing that you brought up, DeQuesta, about having meetups, right? Because we do meetups with Shift the Culture as well. And so, I think it would behoove us to have spaces and to curate spaces where both ends of the spectrum get to come together and talk and listen. And I think that we can have great constructive dialogue, because I promise you that there are older people who admire us and they admire our tenacity, but at the same time, we just need to be more mutually respectful.
And in our industry, think about it, the focus often on demographics and this supposed buying the age group that has the most purchasing power, which is
absolutely
not the group we're talking about today. But discounting the many people who are in that age group with quite a bit of purchasing power. Are we going to have to adjust how we think about these things, and especially demographics, and what's important and what's a key demographic and who to be targeted?
That's a good question. So like, let me try to answer a question with an example from like one of our partners in Spain. So they have it's called Vuvu. It's basically, they found a gap between where you had individuals in the silver economy, in that demographic. They might not have any kids. They have their own house, but they don't know what's going to happen with that. They don't have anybody to pass it on or whatever like that. And they found with the gap with the younger generation, you have younger people trying to get into home owning, but they can't afford to get into there. So what they've done is that they've connected the space where they've worked with legislation and worked with the bank in order to figure out a way where they could rent or live within the space, the homes. They provide, companionship for the individuals, like, just being friends, just being rent sharing the same space. And then once they pass on, they pass that property on to them, right? I know, very, very way out there and innovative. But
I think I saw that in a horror movie. I don't know.
Yeah. It could, yes. In a scenario, it could go wrong. But then also, they are trying to solve a challenge for individuals. Like, okay, how do we? This individual wants to own a home. This individual has a home and doesn't know what she's going to do with it. How do we connect the dots?
That takes a lot of navigation.
It is a lot of navigation. Yeah. So a big part of what we want to do with this is to just figure out what our policies in order to, uplift and continue to support this space, but what are policies that could possibly give some roadmaps for individuals to do things that we probably never thought of before, right? Yeah. So, and like our partner, K. Neil Parker was the doctor on the our last Silver Forum with Alexis Hanna. We talked with Gowan Bow from a financial perspective. We talked to Catherine Taylor Hennis, Newbold, just from a health and wellness perspective. Is a lot of different facets, right? So, and a lot of these moving parts, you need to come to the table in order to evoke policy. So like, and shout out to ORC, who's the hearing board for like this idea, because again, they look at a lot of the policy as well too. And then also shout out to the Greater Silver Society, the Civil Society, because not only are there a lot of the demographic is in there, but it is always been a space where we could think about the ideas and how do we help each other, with the rising tide that is, challenges such like this. Right. So, yeah.
Again, we're talking with Travis Miller and Shauna Edgecombe. If you have any questions, give us a call, 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Call us toll free, 242-300. Tweet us, Facebook us, text us, 422-4796. All right, so what advice would you give to companies out there who are noticing their clientele's getting a little bit up in age, but perhaps they're like maybe where we are right now, where it's challenging to get into a building even, and the things that they're not thinking about perhaps? What would you say?
So this is a good question, because we also, in a series of workshops that we've done recently, we talked a lot about innovation, right? And a lot of innovation doesn't have to be super fancy and technical. It's like a lot of things that you could do right now, right? So I would say for individuals who serve that demographic but not necessarily are paying attention to that demographic, pay attention, because there's opportunities where you could, capitalize on just a better relationship, longer term value for that individual as well too. So like, for example, you might serve these individuals 60 plus, but you find if once you spend the time to cater to that segment of a customer, because I think a lot of people just think, oh, whatever, I don't need to think too much about my customer, just whoever walks to, but there's so many nuances to thinking about how you could serve a customer. And we are just encouraging those individuals to think about that 60 plus space within this project. But we call them segments, customer segments. How do you cater to that? So if you find anybody out there, if you serve anybody in this demographic, try to think a little bit more about like how you could really cater to that need, because you'll be surprised that it could be an opportunity that you may not even think about.
I'm seeing it because there's banks and utility companies. They
Absolutely.
have the 60 plus
60 plus line.
But they have one person serving, and that line is longer than the regular line.
Right.
And those older folks are just standing there and they're like, this isn't working. This isn't working. But nobody seems to be paying attention to it.
And if they did pay attention to it, it could change the game. It could really change the game, even just from a customer perspective standpoint. You know what I mean? a customer satisfaction standpoint.
Yeah. Oh boy.
But I mean, even to those organizations. Go ahead, Shanna. Sorry.
I just wanted to add too that if we would look around a bit more with empathy, right? Like this whole conversation became very real to me at the beginning of the year when my grandmother, who is 90 years old, fell and broke her hip.
Oh boy.
Okay. And she's doing well now. She's up and she's walking. But I will say this, like, she got round the clock nursing care. Thank God that could be afforded, which a lot of people cannot do that. She was able to have surgery fairly quickly. Okay, so I say all that to say if we look around and see things from the standpoint of that could be me, that could be my mother, that could be my grandmother who is struggling to use this machine. Dwight, I as you brought up banks, I had thought about it a second before about how we are making people do so many things at the ATMs and do so many things online, but yet where's the literacy? Where is the let me show you how to do it? Where are the sessions for those people who aren't necessarily technology literate? And the government, the government, we talk about people not having enough savings, right? Having less than $1,000. Okay, so are we going to just acknowledge the problem, or are we going to show people, here's how you manage your money in retirement. Here's how you manage your money before retirement, before it gets to the point where it's bad. Here's how you can preserve your home after retirement, right? Because maintenance doesn't stop. There you have that asset. So I think we need to be more proactive as well when it comes to the problems. Yeah, we could talk about it, but what else?
Wow. Yeah. Very well said. All right. So what's next, and what can we do if people listening want to help and want to be a part of this? What do you do?
So awesome. First place you could go, our website is livesilvercarib.com, silvercaribe.com. You find status and updates on the project. We'll often update it for like events that are upcoming. So we'll soon add the accelerator component of that as well too. Feel free to reach out to us at contact@arrowlink.com. That's ARROWLYNK.com. That's Y instead of an I. And yeah, if you just shoot us a message and let's see how we could collaborate together, right? Because we're still trying to figure out how to piece this very amoebus thing together, but it is. Again, shout out to our partners again for helping us so far, IDB Lab and our other partners. We really appreciate y'all, and just connect with us some way, some shape or form. And we'll come back with an update, hopefully a little bit more data.
Excellent. Yeah. Wonderful stuff. This is great work that you're doing. Thank you very much for sharing it with us. Thank you both for being a part of it. Shanna Edgecombe and Travis Miller, thank you very much again.
Thank you so much.
Silver Carib and Arrowlink Ventures. And you can find it all. I will post it on our page as well.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Let's take a break, and we'll be back with our final few minutes of Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Stay with us.
All right. Here we go now. When I was a little boy running around the yard, I used to hear the older men talking by the bar. They talk about the things they did when they were young and strong, and how things are better now than it was before. I didn't understand what they meant back then. I'm a little older now. I think I comprehend when they say age ain't nothing but a number. You're just as old as you feel. Even though I move a little slower, everything is as sweet, just like wine. All the time, champagne, my name, caviar, from afar, brandy.
Hey sis, are you ready to reset, refocus, and rise? It's time for the Unstoppable Weekend, happening November 8th and 9th in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Join us for 2 unforgettable days of empowerment. Saturday's luncheon brings inspiration, connection, and sisterhood. Sunday, Stuck to Unstoppable workshop, focusing on shifting mindsets, breaking limiting beliefs, and equipping you with the tools to step boldly into your next season. Register today at www.heysisempowerment.com. Your unstoppable journey starts now.
Do you know who's giving you $1,500 cash back? None other than Chevrolet. Test drive the classy LTZ-trimmed Colorado truck, or the sporty Trax RS, or the family-friendly Captiva SUV. Or how about the fuel-efficient Groove? Whatever your choice, you will be riding safe with a 3-year bumper-to-bumper warranty from a dealer that's been around for over 85 years. Get down to Nassau Motor Company on Shirley Street and select a model that gives you $1,500 cash back. Chevrolet, built with the innovative technology you trust.
Get ready for magical holiday fun as Santa and Snow Bear make their grand entrance on Saturday, November 8th at noon at Kelly's House and Home. Come and join the fun until 5 p.m. for an afternoon filled with games, face painting, bouncy castles, treats, and more. Meet Santa and Snow Bear and take your picture with them, and also save 20% on all toys, except on net items, with our fabulous toy sale. Kick off the holiday season with the arrival of Santa and Snow Bear at Kelly's House and Home. Happy holidays!
Hard work and opportunity are the keys to success. I started as a packing boy, a bus boy, and a space cleaner. Now, I'm a businessman and a lawyer. As chairman of BAIC, I focus on creating new opportunities for Bahamian entrepreneurs and farmers. I'm Darren Pickstock, candidate for the PLP in Golden Isles. It would be an honor to work hard for Golden Isles and help with concerns big and small. Let's work together to create new pathways to security and success for more Bahamians.
This has been a paid announcement by the Progressive Liberal Party.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
It is time for your morning business report brought to you by CFAL. The Bahamas saw an increase in stopover visitors from Canada in the midst of a softening in stopover visitors from the U.S. this year. When compared to last year, Governor of the Central Bank of the Bahamas, John Roll, confirming this during a media briefing yesterday, noting that the tourism sector saw overall earnings increase at a slower rate in the first 9 months of this year when compared to 2024, partly due to the decline in U.S. stopover visitors. Attorney General Ryan Binder in the Senate, noting that the inherent inequities in the international financial regulatory system puts smaller jurisdictions like the Bahamas at an unfair position. Binder is calling for a greater use of the multilateral system for further lobbying in the country's best interest. And speaking during the automatic exchange of financial account information bill debate in the Senate, saying that to ensure that the standard is fully effective, the Global Forum reviews each jurisdiction's domestic and international legal framework to ensure they are complete, and that reviews of the effectiveness of the implementation of the standard is practiced. You can read more in his comments in today's Guardian Business section. The Bahamas Agricultural, Health, Food, and Safety Authority officially opening its headquarters on Crawford Street in Oaksfield, also officially launching a mobile plant health lab. Agriculture Minister Jomo Campbell said that the mobile laboratory is the first in the region and will revolutionize plant health diagnostics, bringing essential testing capabilities directly to farmers and stakeholders throughout the country. Chair of Waterkeepers Bahamas, Joseph Darville, is calling on Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, to honor his commitment to the environment and not allow Miami-based Integra Group's Rosewood Exuma project to dredge in a tidal flow area rich in natural marine resources. Waterkeepers releasing a statement yesterday renewing Darville's call for the Integra development to leave Sampson Key's North Bay as it is. Integra plans for its Rosewood Resort on Sampson Key. Those plans include dredging the North Bay for its commercial dock and constructing a large seawall to ensure the integrity of that dock given the tidal flow through the area. But Darville's applauding Cooper's recent comments to travel news and market research website Skift Research, where he insisted that the country has taken a hardline approach to unchecked development, ensuring environmental protection is paramount in the country's tourism strategy. And even with banks using the credit bureau to guide their lending decisions, the central bank's latest survey of commercial banks' lending conditions for the first half of the year shows an increase of almost 7% in net lending from January 2025 to September 2025 when compared to the same period last year. Central Bank Governor John Rolcom said that during the same period in 2024, there was a 4% increase when compared to the comparative period in the previous year. Overseas flight delays continued as U.S. airports amid air traffic controllers shortages as the government shutdown entered its second month in the U.S. Newark Airport in New Jersey experiencing delays of 2 to 3 hours. New York City's Emergency Management Office saying on X, formerly Twitter, that Newark delays often ripple out to the region's other airports. Travelers flying in from or through New York should expect schedule changes, gate holds, and missed connections, and that anyone flying today should check a flight status before heading to the airport. George Bush Intercontinental Airport in Houston, Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, and Chicago O'Hare were also seeing dozens of delays and 1 or 2 cancellations, along with major airports in San Francisco, Los Angeles, Denver, and Miami, according to FlightAware. And South Korean President Lee Jae-myung calling for tripling the government spending on projects for expanding artificial intelligence infrastructure and technology in a budget speech. Lee also called for lawmakers to approve a planned 8.2% increase in defense spending next year, which he said would help modernize the military's weapons systems and reduce its reliance on the United States, as the Allies' military chiefs met in Seoul for annual security talks. Most conservative opposition lawmakers boycotted Lee's speech amid an ongoing rift over a criminal investigation into former President Yoon Suk-yeol's brief imposition of martial law in December. Lee's speech came after South Korea last week hosted the leaders of major Pacific Rim nations for this year's Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation. Back to the AI issue. In his speech, Lee highlighted his APEC diplomacy and a bilateral meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump, which he said eased uncertainties involving trade dependency. He said the country was still facing a critical moment for national survival amid rapid changes in the global trade order and a huge transformed AI. In your Market Watch recapping trading on the BISX from Monday, market movers Consolidated Water closing at $6.89, up 12 cents. Emira Incorporated down 9 cents, closing at $11.59. The BISX All-Share Index closing at 3,074.95, up 0.03. That's your Market Watch, and that is your morning business report brought to you by CFAL, growing wealth for future generations. Duquesadine, thank you so much.
Thank you. It's
Appreciate
happy to be here with you. Have a great day.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And I'll be back tomorrow morning with more Morning Blend and Morning Blend Business right here on Guardian Radio 96.9. Everybody have a great day. Stay tuned for All the Clock coming up next.